Hi, everybody. This is Jim Cornette, pro wrestling legend, and you're listening to the Book in the Territory Unprofessional Wrestling Podcast.
This is the artist formerly known as Daryl Van Horn, James Mitchell, the Sinister Minister, and I'm here to let you know I would rather slam my cock in a car door than to miss the dulcet tones of Hard Body Harper, my illegitimate son, on Booking the Territory podcast.
Woo, Messi, this is professional wrestler Jimmy Valiant, the Boogie Woogie Man. Tell my people, my brothers and sisters, don't you dare miss Booking the Territory. Oh, yeah.
This is a one-man gang. You're listening to Booking the Territory Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome back, everyone, to this week's episode of Booking the Territory, the unprofessional wrestling podcast, where today we are covering the first half of Starrcade 91. Doc, this is the 7th Starrcade we've done. We're at the Scope in Norfolk, Virginia. More on that later. Before I throw it to you, this is Jim Hurd's last pay-per-view with the company. The last big-time show under Hurd's leadership. January 8th, Hurd resigns or is fired, depending on who you believe and how you actually want to view it, I should say. Superstar is supposed to be with us. He's not here right now. What's going on? How are you, sir?
Well, I'm doing well, as always. It's a pleasure to be here. Starrcade is probably the reason for our biggest disagreement on the show.
Which is, I don't know where you're going with this.
You make this available free for all, and I say it should only go to the patrons.
Okay, that's not true. We were doing Starrcades before we had a Patreon. Thus, like any good business people would do, we kept it on the free feed. And to be rather frank, there's nothing we're going to talk about tonight that deserves to be behind a paywall, unless Harper just turns into Deep State Harper again when he gets here, as he's talking about it.
We're still recovering from that little episode.
Jesus Christ!
We had sore tummy muscles for a couple of days after that. It's completely unplanned. We don't know what causes it. But when he started doing Deep State Harper in Deep State Harper voice, I lost it. And then Darren got involved. Just tremendous. Because he knows something's up, but he has no idea how it sounds to him because it sounds normal.
He knows how it sounds because he's heard the...
But he doesn't know in the moment.
Right, he doesn't know in the moment.
So he's just performing what he thinks we want to hear. And guess what? He's right.
I can't even do Darren Deep State when he started that. Bro, somebody needs to tell y'all something, bro. I mean, bro, let's be real. Y'all think y'all fucking funny, but y'all ain't fucking funny. I can't do it, but it was great. It's great.
Yeah, we couldn't manufacture that kind of moment if we tried, and we don't try. So there you go.
Not a chance.
Not a chance.
Like you said, if I knew how to do it, it would have been worn out inside of 2 weeks.
Jesus, just the drop of you playing Jesus got worn out. So yeah, we don't know where the Deep State. He's rolling around the Deep State of the East Side of New Orleans probably right now. We do have a text out to him saying that Starrcade is afoot, and to let us know when he can be bothered to join us. Mike, the weather forecast has it getting up to 100 in the next week. I don't want to do this.
Yeah, in the words of the illustrious superstar, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's hot. It's hot here in Texas, but it's hotter at the Norfolk Scope. You know what's not hot?
Let's hear it.
the under the collar of Stanfield Lane, because he found out once again, while he might be a daddy of some, and some of us might wish that he was our daddy, he's not the father of Lauren Boebert.
Yeah, this show's a politics-free zone, but we got to touch this. Not from a political
maybe
standpoint.
the politics should stop touching the wrestling.
In fairness, it was her mother who touched the wrestler, but
come on.
If this thing, here's the thing, my understanding, this thing was actually put to bed many years ago by Stan. He took a test from what I understood, but there's been rampant rumors and just lies told by journalists here and there, and whether people in wrestling or the actual media. And apparently Stan finally just had enough and was like, look, I'll take the test again. And it came out that apparently he was not the father, or is not the father. And it's really sad. I have a family member who's in a similar situation, not a similar situation, is in that situation. Like,
which one? Which situation?
She doesn't know who her dad is.
Oh, that's sad.
And her mom passed away, and the mom, long story short, claims she don't know either, and which I think is bullcrap. Because as this person I'm related to said, how many fucking people was she fucking that she don't have a clue? So, it's just one of those things where...
But here's the thing. If she was down at the wrestling in 1985, because Lauren Boebert was born in 86, is it out of the question that some gentleman wrestlers ran a train on her?
Bro, even then, man, I mean... just based on proximity of time frame, when you got knocked up. So
not if the entire stud stable tried to sire themselves inside of you at the same time.
Okay, if it's
think about 6 or 7 wrestlers, just their different DNA mixing inside of some incubator.
If it's 8, then there's your pool to test. And if it's not one of them, then the mama's lying.
Well, maybe she was facing the other way and didn't see who snuck in line.
Bruh, I don't want to hear that, man. And then we got fake Stan Lane over in the Twitter streets having fun with it. You ought to go check out that ridiculous Twitter feed. He's got his pinned tweet is from a tweet that Boebert tweeted out during Christmas, and he quote retweets it and says, "No invite?" with a question mark behind it.
Come on. I'm surprised that some of the more idiotic listeners we have, and boy, that's a high bar that you have to clear to be in that field, aren't reaching out asking if they can be your daddy.
The Eye of Gibson, he told me, he's like, man, I'm shocked fake Stan Lane hasn't been blocked yet by her. I was like, man, them politicians ain't checking their Twitter feeds. They got people doing that mess for them, man. They're not looking at the mentions. They're smart, at least in that perspective. They get people to read their bull crap so they don't have to read it.
So if you're out there, here's the thing. We talk a lot about parenting because, that's real for you and I, and it's cautionary tales for Harper, to hear so that he doesn't procreate. But once you have a kid, you really do need to dig in. It's a lot of work, but, the kids deserve it, right?
I'd be mad at my mom more than anything in that situation. Like, I'd be like my relative who's like, how many goddamn people were you screwing? I mean, dude, it's not like
Harper is on. We need to dial him in.
All right.
God, he was 3 minutes early, Mike.
What the hell? Maybe we ought to tell him we're getting started early more often. That maybe he'll.
Maybe we got something here.
Yeah, we might have stumbled upon a gimmick here, huh, bro? Let's ask him what he thinks of Stan Lane and father and What was the thing back on Saturday night?
That he was at the home for wayward The
unwed mothers.
unwed mothers, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Fellowship of Christian Athletes.
What's up?
Harper, we're already on. How are you doing tonight? And are you willing to go on the record and say you are not Lauren Boebert's father?
Oh, that chick's hot. I didn't realize she looked that damn fine.
We're trying. Okay, so hold on, because we need to hit both sides of the aisles, or everybody's going to get mad.
Hit both
Which one would you
sides.
pick, Lauren Boebert or Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez?
That's what I was thinking. She's like the Republican version of the AOL broad.
AOC?
Yeah, whatever.
So you think that maybe in the House chamber they ought to have some foxy boxing?
Come on.
Maybe a little mud pit off to the side where like all the old white men have like cash in their hands and fists where they're betting on these two broads.
Hey,
Tell you what, we'll pass health care if she wins.
the winner gets. You can buy machine guns anywhere in the U.S. and if you win, we're going to end global warming. Let's go.
I'm still stuck on AOL.
Yeah. Well, so do you know who Lauren Boebert's? We asked if you wanted to be her dad, not her date.
Oh, I don't want to be fucking nobody's dad.
That's
he's
the correct answer.
Harper's too young. I mean, she was born in '86. He wasn't even shooting.
You're telling me that 8-year-old Harper wasn't capable?
Well,
I don't know. Let's see, 8 years old. I don't know. I was probably thinking about He-Man.
I'm gonna say, I said the 8-year-old Harper's like, come here, girl.
Come here, girl.
well, hold on. You talking about you were thinking about He-Man? You know, you was
He-Man
watching
and
Missy
Hulk
around
Hogan.
that time too. So,
Oh, your girl from Weird Science.
oh God, yeah, we all had a thing for her.
Who didn't? Kelly LeBrock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did she marry Steven Seagal?
I think so, and she
I hope
looks different these days.
He's a disaster.
Yeah. And his hair. Jesus Christ.
A whole lot of celebrities that are disasters. If we're gonna be real.
Just celebrities or everyone?
The world's a mess, if we're going to be frank. But
It is. Can you imagine the conversations that are happening on the spaceships that are hovering around the Earth, just watching us?
Like the aliens or like astronauts?
The aliens. The astronauts. Yeah, it's the aliens.
Yeah, they're probably, look at these assholes.
We'd invade them, but what could we do with them? They're too pitiful to do anything.
I'll just give them a new phone. They'll be okay.
Yeah.
That's depressing.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, hey, speaking of depressing, Harper, we're here to talk about Starrcade 91. This is, as Mike said earlier, Jim Hurd's last pay-per-view. The reign of terror ends. No more free pepperoni pizzas in the back.
Come on.
So I'm assuming that with Hurd out, everything will take a meteoric uptick immediately. Is that correct?
No, right?
No.
I mean,
we have bigger problems than Hurd now.
Well, you're just not going to turn things on a dime. You know how it is.
It's like trying to turn a fucking an aircraft carrier.
Yeah,
that has syphilis.
Well, come on.
They're all pulling a train on the House of Representatives' parents.
It's okay. We're done with the politics portion of the show, even though it was a wrestling portion as well.
That's right.
Yeah.
Don't. Hey, we will come into your lane if you stay out of ours.
Yeah, leave Stan alone. Damn it.
For real.
He's trying
to mind his own business, sitting at the house watching fucking TV, and he's like, "What the fuck am I still being dragged into this shit for?"
Dude, Stan's got to be in like his late 70s. I mean, late 60s, early 70s, and he's.
Well, Cornette said that he's 70.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go.
I didn't think he was that goddamn old.
It's happening. It's all getting away from us. But do you think he looks down at his balls and he's like, "They're still talking about us, boys."
You still got one more match in you.
Oh, come on.
Let's go stretch.
Well, hey,
how old was Bobby Eaton?
Probably close.
Damn.
Yeah, it had to be.
If you get
Well,
He had to
Cornette's
be-
60.
Yeah, Bobby had to be close.
Bobby would be 65 today, or about to turn 65.
So he was, man.
63.
Dude, the older I get,
Or
and I hear people
he
dying
was
in
a
their
week
60s.
or 10 days shy.
Oh.
When I hear people
That's
dying in their
63.
60s, and I'm,
Bro, I
Racing
far
got
away
towards
from
that
that.
number.
40s dying, dude.
I know. Well, that too as well. But real quick, Doc, let me take care of some business before we really get rolling. Big time shout out to our big time patron contributors: Disrespectfully Classy, Marky Blassie, Mike Childers, Joe Ice, good old Justin. Thank you for your generous support on Patreon each and every month, and basically being the sponsors of this show. And then two new patrons or returning patrons: Josh W. and I can't remember if I mentioned this last week, Patrick B. If you want to be patrons like them and get access to all that Patreon gold behind the paywall, tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. Over 400 Patreon exclusive shows are there, including all of the video versions of these episodes that we do each and every month or week, I should say. Doc, I feel like there was one other flip and dive you wanted to get to before we jumped into Starrcade.
I have no idea.
You wanted to ask me something, but I can't remember what it was.
About Chris Candino?
No, we've already done that.
Yeah, we did an episode on last week on him, and yeah, that was interesting. I mean, share what you want to share about it, Harper. I'm sure you watched it.
I mean, it's just like you want to feel bad for him, but it's like, bro, why don't you just kick this hoe to the curb, bro? You're a grown-ass man. Fuck this bitch.
Well, I didn't feel like that. I did feel bad for him. Only because...
Ain't you ever been in love, Harper?
Yeah, but I mean, he was grown. How old was he? He wasn't some kid who was fucking 19 years old.
Harper, here's the thing. This is why I will never blame him. We all have been dumb behind at least one. Some people are dumb behind numerous ones. We all have been a little dumb behind at least one. And I just think she's not a good human being.
Yeah, I don't think she's a pillar of the community. Even if she wouldn't have got the DUI, she was still a hoe.
And I'll repeat this, and then if you want to hear the rest of it, because we did an hour on it. 7 DUIs, and the last time she killed a man.
Yeah.
So I believe in second chances. I don't believe in
8.
Yes. No. You need to, as Dr. Tom said, I quoted him when Doc and I were doing the episode. As Dr. Tom said, she needs to be locked up to save us and everybody. But she does not need
She's ready for her 11th chance.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, dude. It's ridiculous. So yeah, no, man. I'm
yeah.
Nope.
She gets 3 more, she'll be a double ace.
She gets, it's like a snow cone punch card. She gets 3 more, she can kill somebody for free.
It's ridiculous, man.
Come on.
No, I mean that's how, how y'all are joking about it. That's how ridiculous it is.
Right.
Bro, this broad is something.
It's foul. She got soured.
There's no
refused
remorse.
To grow up, dude. That's what she didn't want to fucking grow up, and it was people that were enabling her the whole fucking time because she was in a public eye.
And then Shawn Michaels tried to treat her like he was filling up a cream donut.
Come on. What the hell, man? We got women who listen to this show. Dude, it's crazy. Most of them don't want their names mentioned because
so we'll put them under a mask and call them Thunderfoot number 1 and Thunderbroad number 1 and
we call
Sizzle Tits number 2.
Gladiator Zoncha. No one's gonna know.
Harper, have you watched any of that yet?
Watch what?
That American Gladiators documentary is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. Oh my God, it's so good, so damn good.
I keep forgetting, bro, because
and it's long too.
And like LSU was doing the regionals, and
on.
And the NBA finals was coming. I'm like,
there you go.
Yeah.
Hey, Harper. Go ahead. Finish. Sorry.
I thought they played the third game tonight. It's like, fuck, bro. I guess not.
No, I think they already advanced into the.
No. I'm saying for the finals.
Oh, it's tomorrow. Tomorrow. Yeah. Harper, I know you're not going to watch Heroes of Wrestling. Me and Crockett thinking about doing it next Friday, but I wanted to ask you before I scheduled it.
God, y'all must love pain, bro.
No, you don't have to. I already figured you're not going to watch it. And actually, some of the people in the Facebook group were like, just do it like you do the Saturday night shows. If we'll get his reaction on the fly, that's fine.
God.
Shivani just did this.
Did he
That's
really?
him. He can't hang with us.
Oh, boy. Yeah. Who was it, Dutch? And who else doing commentary?
Randy Rosenblum, I think, or Rosenblum was the guy's name. They're not bad. That's one of the best parts of the show. And then I watched it this weekend. Tully Blanchard cuts a promo.
I heard it on that show that was just done. It was good.
It's phenomenal. One of the best in his career, probably. Him and Stan did a good little angle. But, that's just a little tease for now. But we'll talk about it after we're done.
Yeah.
Doc, anything else before we get into this?
Can we please talk about this bullshit fucking Starrcade?
Come on.
Hey, man, we have literally presided over the fall of Starrcade. Because when we
really
started, it was hot as shit. And now it is shit.
Yeah.
This is our seventh Starrcade that we've done.
Bischoff brings up, he says, Halloween Havoc pretty much passed up Starrcade, and I think he's right. Because by this time, Starrcade is nothing what it once was.
Well, stop killing Starrcade and it'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, The Gathering and Flair for the Gold.
Gathering, Skywalkers.
For real, dude.
There's so much.
Mm-hmm.
If you stop treating it like shit, I won't think it's shit.
That's right.
Well, this is going to be part one because we always break it up into two. That's how we've done traditionally since we started covering this. We did the first Starrcade we covered is 85. This is the seventh one that we'll be doing. So this is part one of it. We'll do the first half this week. The second half we'll get to next week. We are at the Scope in Norfolk, Virginia, and I said at the beginning of the show, and I'll repeat it here since Harper's just joining us. This is Jim Hurd's last pay-per-view. It's the last big-time show under his leadership. And on January the 8th, he resigns or is fired. It just depends on, how you believe that all goes down. There are, according to the reports, about 9,000 people in attendance if you believe the internet. So there's a good crowd.
There's a good crowd there. Look at them.
Yeah. Not a bad crowd. I don't want to, make fun of the crowd at all. But, Doc, just so you know, your timestamp might be about 10 seconds off from what we have here in this version. So
who says I have any fucking timestamps from this garbage?
Yeah,
because you told me earlier you did.
Is the Scope still there? Probably not, huh?
I think it is.
I think it is. Ducky, tell us. Duck Bozard will tell us.
So this is also Battle Bowl, right?
Oh dear God!
I forgot about that.
Well, you're stealing JR and Tony Schiavone's thunder. I want y'all to listen right now for the next minute of audio. Here it is.
20 tag teams, and they'll compete in 10 tag team matches. And hello again, everyone, and happy holidays. Jim Ross and Tony Schiavone in ringside. And Tony, the wrestlers must win their tag team matchup to advance to Battle Bowl. And then Battle Bowl is a whole new endeavor. Battle Bowl is a 2-ring battle royal, and the 20 surviving men from the tag team matches, of course, they're at random drawing, will go into one ring. The idea is to dump them over to the next ring and then dump them into the floor. There'll be one man left in ring one man left in ring two. At the end of the night, one man will be the Battle Bowl champion. Fans, it's going to be something. We're really looking forward to the Lethal Lottery. And right now, we'd like to go to our colleague, Eric Bischoff, who's standing by with Missy Hyatt and tonight's commissioner, Magnum TA. Take it away, Eric. Thanks, Jim and Tony. And what a thrill it is to be part of Starrcade 91 Battle Bowl, where tonight, the Lethal Lottery will determine the fate of these 40 WCW
There was like an awkward pause right there before they went to the stage where all of the 40 guys are that are going to have their names pulled and all that stuff.
I know he's Mr. TV superstar with Jason Hervey and all, but if we're in Virginia and you're standing next to Magnum TA and it's the first time we've seen him in a couple of years, maybe let him address the crowd and the crowd at home.
Just say something, huh?
How many times does Magnum speak tonight?
Well, let's go to that now. I think he says something here. I can't remember.
And the former U.S. heavyweight champion of the world, Norfolk Soul, Magnum TA. All right, let's kick it off. Let's reach in and choose our first team. Representing team number 1, the first athlete, Michael P.S. Hayes. His tag team partner, Tracy Summers.
All right, I'm not going to watch them pick these names all night, but
Yeah.
so they go to the basket. We don't even get a word from Magnum. I mean, he's not holding the mic. We can hear him say it's going to be good. That's it. That's all he really said is he's picking these names out.
It's going to be good. That's all you can come up with?
Did you catch the rules, Harper?
No.
So
I wore a condom.
Okay, great. I figured that. Even though you never wear them in life, you just were always careful in grabbing the light by the horns, right?
That's right. Dodge trucks.
Yeah. Grab like all right, you son of a bitch. All right. So anyway, the first match ends up being Michael Hayes and Tracy Smothers are chosen, but they got to go up against Jimmy Garvin and Bagwell. So here's how they try to position this thing all night and whatnot. Because it's a lottery, you could obviously be picked to tag with someone you don't like, and you may even have to go up against your own side or tag partner, depending on, if you're in a faction or you're actually a tag team. So get used to that for tonight.
So it's a bunch of dry matches.
Yes.
It just makes there's no reason for this to be happening.
So
and somewhere along the way, they're going to make up the thing that whoever wins this gets a shot at the title.
So that's what I was going to say. Not only do you have all these dry matches, but you have to wrestle with your partner that you're chosen with, because the only way you move on to Battle Bowl at the end is if you and your partner win. So you can't cheat and try to screw your own partner, because that means you lose a chance at Battle Bowl at the end. So for example, right here, we're going to get Garvin and Bagwell who are going to win. So being that they win, they just punch their ticket to Battle Bowl at the end of the night.
Okay, so wait a minute. Let me ask you this question. So there's 40 wrestlers starting, 20 get to go to the battle royale. But because this isn't for extra money or glory or anything else, how many of these guys were trying to work their way out of having to win in this match and having to fight in the battle royal? And work twice.
How many of them were trying not to?
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah. You just want to take the pin and then go home.
Yeah, because none of them wanted to get back out there in the battle royal unless they were winning.
Hey, I was thinking I could just put you over out there. You could use the win. Get it on pay-per-view. You could get that'll help you out.
Yeah, man. It'll make you look strong.
Right. They ain't getting paid by the hour. All right. So anyway, this first match, it at this point, if you see where it's at on the timer, it's got another 10 minutes to go before it wraps up.
Two rings.
It's almost 3 hours.
Yes. That's why we're breaking it into two.
Okay. Oh, thank God.
Yeah. We're breaking it into part. This is part one this week.
About to book a bitch and fucking roll.
He was gonna bounce.
Oh, what the fuck, Harper? I mean, come on, man. You know, somebody needs to tell y'all think y'all fucking funny, but y'all ain't fucking funny. Fucking bullshit, bro. All right. I can't do Deep State Darren, but that's what I was going
Two
for.
rings are stupid.
Very stupid. Hate 2 rings. Is there a time when you like 2 rings, Doc?
No. Because
Never.
somebody with a front row seat is getting hosed.
That's
What
true,
about
huh?
what about for like war games? Even then?
Yeah, I'm not a huge War Games fan. There are War
Me
Games that
either.
I like, but we're going to watch one. The next one they have is a good one.
Yeah, that's a great one actually. The next one is one of the best ones ever. But what I was gonna say was, this is an example of wrestling just gimmicking it up too much.
This is
overbooked.
This is
Yeah.
beyond overbooked. None of
Well,
this makes sense.
The way this thing ends is Garvin tags in Bagwell, who goes for the pin. Then he hits Hayes. Garvin then comes into the ring, and Hayes mistakenly cheap shots Garvin. Garvin and Hayes are arguing. Bagwell gets his knees up as Tracy comes off the top rope. And Bagwell then fisherman suplexes Tracy Smothers and pins Tracy Smothers. So Garvin and Bagwell move to Battle Bowl, and Garvin and Hayes shake hands like they're friends again, even though Hayes should be mad because he's not going on to Battle Bowl. But whatever. That's that. Doc, any thoughts?
I thought that the Garvin Hayes stuff was interesting and kind of entertaining for this concept. JR stated during the match that Michael Hayes started when he was 17. Just thinking about if the 17-year-old got on a AEW pay-per-view today, what would happen?
Well, he's not 17 here.
Right. That's
No, I'm saying if a 17-year-old. Now hold on, right there. We got go back for a few seconds.
Okay, I can only go back 10 seconds at a time. What do you want?
Okay, right there.
Okay.
Mike, F, marry or kill, Bischoff, Magnum, and Missy.
I hate that stupid game, man. I'm not playing that dumb shit.
You are such an old curmudgeon.
No, it's just stupid. Like that's one of the most worn out things ever. Everybody on the internet, F, marry or kill. I'm like, really? This is what we doing here?
Yeah.
Okay. Grow up.
No.
Okay. Yeah,
that was probably as good as you were going to get in that first match, though. And it was too long.
It did go for a while. All right. Any other thoughts on that first one, Doc?
Arachnaman's there.
Yeah, Arachnaman's there. There's a lot of people there. There's a loaded locker room.
Everybody's getting a check tonight.
It's like at the end of the Avengers when they all come together to fight Thanos.
All right.
So, dude, this is Herd's like I'm getting evicted, so I'm gonna get everybody a paycheck to try to make up for all the damage I did.
Yeah.
So the next match, or 4 guys who are chosen, we got Steve Austin and Rick Rude are chosen to be a tag team. So 2 of Paulie's guys are on the same side versus Van Hammer and Big Josh.
Squash match.
Jesus Christ. Doc, well, dude, I was watching this going, I cannot believe I have to watch this shit.
This is when I cursed you.
I was cursing everything, including myself at this moment.
So my note here was that Austin's tights look like a fucking trapper keeper.
Yeah, for real, dude.
Yeah, that was that like color scheme.
Purple and then geometric shapes.
Yeah, that fucking limo bus carpet color.
And can I tell you something? I think he had them as far back as like Global and stuff too.
Yeah. I think. Right.
I think I remember him with those. Yeah.
22:45. We get a little dick dancing.
Bro,
if that's your thing.
Stan Lane does some dick dancing on Heroes of Wrestling. Harper.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There we go. Rude with the little swivel hips. I got you. All right, Doc,
Now,
what else?
I popped in this match. I don't have a timestamp, but at some point, Rick Rude no sold the log roll.
The what?
Big Josh got on him and started doing that log roll thing.
Oh.
And Rude got up and pointed to his abs and was like, that shit don't work on me.
Yeah. You know what's funny? Like, you hear the stories about Matt Bourne being kind of an asshole. And like Rick Rude, I don't hear the stories of him being an asshole. I kind of just hear about him being just a tough guy. I feel like Rick Rude's the type of guy that looks at Matt Bourne's like, you know what, bruh? They think I'm a prick, but you're just an asshole. So go fuck yourself. If like he's trying to fuck with Rude, and Rude just blows him off, and it's like, bruh, you don't want this smoke. Take it up the street, bruh. I can see Rick Rude telling Matt Bourne that and meaning it. Like, I'm gonna crush your ass. You keep playing with me. I don't know. That's
or
just
they
me.
both laughed about it later over 12 beers.
Depending on how much beer you get in some guy, sure. This match, Doc, it went on for about like 13 minutes.
Yeah, 13 minutes.
Or so.
There comes Van Hammer.
I'm not watching Van Hammer. I can't do it.
Come on, dude.
No. Okay, well, here he is. We'll go to the finish. Unless you got something else, Doc.
No.
So
That's nice.
that was a power slam from Van Hammer. Still don't like him.
Now he's going to kill Austin.
Boom.
Yeah, he's just dropping him around like he's crazy. We're going to get a big flying shoulder tackle by Hammer to Austin. And Rude makes a save on the pin. All four end up in the ring. Austin is backdropped by Hammer, but Austin made the tag on the backdrop, and Hammer didn't realize Rude was the legal man. Rude comes in and hits Hammer with the Rude Awakening, and Rude wins this for his team. So Rude and Austin move on. And as much as I hate the Battle Bowl concept and all this lethal lottery, the right team won.
That's right.
And that's all that matters right now to me. Right team won.
It took too long.
It was a lot longer than it needed to be. We are 34 minutes in and
Man,
two
at
matches.
this point, I'm like, are we sure we're going to get all this shit in?
Yeah. So in between the next match, I've got a note, and I don't have an exact timestamp, but there's a note about Medusa. As JR and Tony, as JR and Tony are discussing the matches, there's a guy holding up a sign behind them telling Medusa to come meet them in room 229 at the Holiday Inn. There it is. You can barely see it. There we go.
269.
269. I said 229.
There's the cops like, hey, get out of here.
Shoot fly.
Look at the dude who came. He's got a flannel on, backwards hat. This hillbilly.
269.
Cops like, keep it moving, pal. Keep it moving. Anyway, I just had that note.
If she went to that room.
Hey, I'm ready to fuck.
No, like just as a fucking just to fuck with him.
Oh yeah. Knocks on the door. Like she brought her own security just to
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. Well, let's keep moving because we get four more names chosen, and the next four are Dustin Rhodes and Richard Morton. I'm sorry. They're going to be tagging against the Cruncher, Larry Zbyszko with Medusa, and El Gigante.
Oh, Lord.
Doc?
Jesus Christ.
I got zero interest in this, so your El Gigante story better be tremendous.
All right. So I got something from one of our listeners in email. I don't want to say who he is because but he's a longtime listener. He said, Mike, I was listening to Bill Alfonso on Briscoe and Bradshaw, and he just told the damnedest story I've ever heard when he was El Gigante's handler. So evidently Alfonso was El Gigante's handler, all right? He says, so a couple times a week on the road, Gonzalez, so El Gigante, would call Fonzie late at night to get him something to eat and whatnot. So one night, he calls and he asks him to come down to his room. The giant Gonzalez, El Gigante, opens the door naked. Allegedly, he's got a girl in his room, and Fonzie says, as he looks in, like, what the hell? And Fonzie's real confused. El Gigante tells Fonzie, My girth is too big to fit in her. Would you warm her up for me? And Fonzie says, I'm thinking, what the F?
No, Fonzie's like, sure, why not?
Well, this is what Fonzie said on Briscoe and Bradshaw. The girl says she's cool with it. Fonzie jumps in till she says, I'm ready for George. Fonzie leaves and goes back to his room. Briscoe laughs and says, only in the wrestling business. Bruh. I don't know what I just read for the third time today as I prepared for this show, but I was like, what is wrong with wrestlers and rats?
Mission accomplished.
I've heard and seen some stuff on the mud shows. I ain't never seen that.
You never warmed somebody up for Iceman?
No.
Oh.
Never.
You never got it all ready and hollowed out for Rod Price?
Oh, dude, Rod would tell you some stupid stuff too. Boy, they'd be a big old fat girl just like kind of flirting with you in the bar and stuff, and Rod will be sitting at the bar on the other side, and he's making faces. He's like, man, you better do something. You better do something. You walk over there, and he'd be like, so what you gonna do? And you're like, man, I ain't screwing that big old fat hog. He's like, bruh, sometimes you get horny, man. Just have a few more drinks. He's trying to talk you into it. And I'm like, no way.
Oh, come on.
He did that to Joe Kane one night, Harper.
I bet he did.
Joe was like, bro, I can't do that. And then next week, Joe's telling me the story. He's like, bro, next week, I hadn't had none in a while. I couldn't wait to go back to home, go to that bar.
Hey, fat girls need love too.
I was like, bro, that chick was a wildebeest, Joe.
Yeah, but there was good pussy under that gut.
No, I don't prescribe to the bigger the chalupa, or the bigger the fupa, the better the chalupa, or whatever the saying is. Let's keep moving. This went on for too long too.
Poor Larry.
Do you have anything from this? Because this is not good.
Oh boy.
So the story we are sold.
My legs sucked.
Right. The story we are sold with this match.
Poor Dustin.
Is that Dustin and Morton, like on commentary, if you remember, they were an actually tag team at one point. So the Cruncher is partners with Gigante, and Shivani is like, why is the Cruncher upset? This man is his partner. He should be happy. He's got the big man on his side. And I'm like, man, Shivani, I know we're working here, but dude, this dude is not good in the ring. So, Doc, any other thoughts before I get to the finish of this? Because this match just frustrated me. I'll take that as a no.
Get to the finish, and I want to watch this closely.
All right. So, Dustin hip tosses Cruncher and then goes for a bulldog, but Cruncher gets out the ring, and we saw that already on the video version. He tags in Gigante. Gigante and Larry start arguing. Gigante is pissed off at Larry. He throws Larry in the ring because he's mad because Cruncher slapped Gigante. Dustin and Morton then hit Larry with a double drop kick, and Morton and Dustin win. Gigante, after being eliminated, is happy, and he shakes Dustin's hand. And even Tony Schiavone says, Gigante evidently doesn't care about advancing. And I don't get the logic. I hate that Schiavone was told he had to sell that to us because he didn't even believe it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doc?
They pinned the wrong guy. He was so bad that I think they pinned the illegal man in the ring and let that fly.
Maybe. I mean, it was so bad. That was like the least of my concern.
I know.
Yeah, this is dog shit.
Uh-oh.
What?
Oh, my God. It happened again. It's happening. He's doing something, Doc. I refuse to believe he's not doing something.
Yeah, this is a rib.
This is a rib at this point. Harper, imitate Darren right now.
Darren?
Yeah.
Talk about Bruno.
This is
Now I don't believe anything, Mike.
Okay.
this is great. Okay, let's continue. This is awesome. We're only 23 minutes into the Starrcade review, 24 minutes into the review, and here we are with Harper. But Harper, it's going to speed up. So listen to this, Harper. You're going to love this next match. Tell me this isn't a 5-star Matt Classic.
How dry can a match be?
Harper, Bill Kazmaier and Jushin Thunder Liger are chosen.
God.
To tag versus DDP and Mike Graham.
This is like if they just took their like action figures and just threw them up in the air, and then when they landed, that's who was going to be the fucking tag team.
It's true.
This is so bad, Michael. How much was this back then? They actually paid for this shit.
Doc, can you Google that for me?
Uh-oh. This is getting away from us.
Was it like $20?
Oh,
I would imagine it was closer to 25.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, because we have to think when we reach the 95, 96 time frame, I want to say they were like 24, 95 by that point. So it's got to be at least 1995, if not more. Chuck Gunter will tell us. He knows. Chuck might drink a lot, but he knows this stuff. He's got it all memorized. I give Chuck credit. So yeah, Kazmaier and Liger are a tag team. DDP and Mike Graham are a tag team. And as those names are being picked, Larry Zbyszko is heading to the back angry, and he pushes Morton, who's in the heel locker room with him. Doc, this match goes like 12 minutes, 13 minutes. I'm not trying to be mean, but it's just like throwing darts at a wall and there's no dartboard.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you have, Doc, from this?
My first note is that Mike Graham has a lot of nerve going after Jeff Jarrett for not having any charisma when he is the living epitome of an average white guy.
He is a basic white dude in the ring.
Yeah. He is pretty fly for a white guy.
Okay, mark that timestamp down, Mike, and you're going to need to clip that.
He's pretty fly for a white guy. What would Darren say about this if he was watching this, Harper, with these four guys in this?
It's like a dream. It's like, yeah, I had this dream one night.
The Bill Kazmaier and a pay-per-view debut for Liger.
And this is how they fucking do it.
Right.
God damn.
Yeah. I mean, he was Christmas night. He's at the Omni versus Pillman, and now he's in there with Graham. And I had that timestamp. I had that stamp. So I don't know what's happening here, but Liger shoots off Mike Graham, and he does his handspring thing like he's gonna do something, and Mike Graham doesn't come off the ropes, and Liger just takes a back bump, and Graham goes down and pins him, and Liger's like, nope, I'm out of here.
We don't flip around like that in Florida. We just shoot ourselves in the head.
Come on, God, what an asshole.
Seriously?
What? He's not here to defend himself. That's the
exactly. Stop.
His father, his kid, none of them. You know.
You're an asshole.
He really is. All right, Doc. Any other thoughts on this?
56-55. We have a big high spot, and the camera misses it.
Is it this right here? Because it caught it. Liger comes over the top rope.
No, I think it's something else.
Okay.
We'll see.
Or did we already maybe miss it? Because we're at 56-55 now.
Let's keep it going. You said 10. Let's go 10 seconds the other way. That's a big move for 1991 WCW pay-per-view, though, right?
Yeah, it is. So Liger hits that 360 flip over the top rope on the Graham on the floor, and then Liger's going to slam Graham once they're back in. Hits a moonsault off the second rope. All four guys are going to end up in the ring. Kazmaier picks up Liger and press slams him on a DDP, and Liger pins DDP. And that's how this thing ends. I think your timestamp was probably about a minute early. Yeah, before that. Where they completely missed whatever happened. But, yeah, Kazmaier launches Liger into DDP, and Liger pins DDP, and Kazmaier and Liger move on. In a match nobody gave a care about. Yeah.
That'll do it.
Yep. All right. Well, speaking of matches, I can't say speaking of matches no one cares about. We do get an ad for Super Brawl 92. It plays in between like the next match, and that will be February 29th. So that is the next big pay-per-view. And
is this the King of Cable?
The King of Cable? What do you mean?
Or is that Starrcade 92? They do one where it's the King of Cable, and they win a title, like this big trophy, and it's like the King of Cable.
No, Starrcade 92 is another Battle Bowl.
Jesus. When you're in a hole, the easiest and best thing to do is to stop digging.
Yeah, unless I'm not remembering it right. Yeah, it is.
Just keep doing the same thing. It's going to get better.
What's that, Mike Tyson? I'll fuck you till you love me.
Come on.
That does not sound good in 2023.
Of course not.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you that Mike Tyson is on the list of 5 celebrities that if I could like sit down and like have dinner with and talk to, he'd be on my list of top 5.
That dude's smart, man. And it's
in the weirdest kind of way.
Yeah, he's like very philosophical, and he's all into history, and it's very interesting to hear him talk about this.
One of the more fascinating characters of our time.
Yeah,
for that reason.
Yeah, I totally agree. And then when you think about if you really sit back and think about how short but great his run was, that's even more. And I say short, I realize it wasn't that short, like a wrestling career, but it's just amazing how he was just so indestructible
until he
wasn't. But even then, he was still a badass dude.
Yeah. Until Buster Douglas showed up.
Well, let's keep moving. The next match and the next 4 people chosen, Lex Luger and Arn Anderson, are on the same team. They are going to take on Terrence Taylor and Mr. Ambien himself, the Z-Man. I'm sorry, Chris Doncha. I love you, but woof.
Let me tell you something here. Terry Taylor worked his ass off in this match.
Dude, are you stealing my notes? Because my I got that, and my other note is Terry Taylor got hosed.
Yeah.
He got hosed right here. He was a bright star in a show that just didn't deliver.
Like he's the only one that didn't get the message that we don't give a shit about this.
Oh.
Which I say that in a good way. Good for him.
Yeah, he went out there and worked.
Yeah.
And it sucks because he deserved better than this, man. This dude is rehabilitated, and he's so much better than I think people give him credit for in this era, and he's given Z-Man in Battle Bowl. Why are we talking about it like it's real?
Hey, look at Harley.
What about him?
Harley dresses like every dude in 1985 down at the church. That blue-collar guy that got dressed up for church on Sunday, the green jacket, the curly hair.
They had no guys looking like him at the churches I went to.
Oh, yeah. That's what we were going to talk about earlier, Mike, was the religion.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we were going to talk about church earlier.
Okay, so
I'm listening.
What?
I'm trying to read my notes.
Oh, about this match?
Yeah. Something about Double A got tired of the zinc shit and hit him with a DDT. Why is Luger in this?
Well, if you notice, he hadn't been on TV much lately. You notice that?
He's the world champion. This is Starrcade, and he's tucked into this shit.
You know why he hadn't been on TV? He was out of dates.
Yeah, because
his contract.
Because he could only run a certain amount of dates, and they went over.
He was out of dates, so that's why they took him off of TV. I don't know how long it's been now, but it's been a while. That's why you haven't been seeing him, or you'd see him doing those promos, and that was it. He's been out of dates. WCW just doing the WCW thing.
Fucking A.
Yeah, it's the damnedest thing.
I mean, getting the boys in the building and the match in the ring seems like job number 1 and number 2, and they can't do that.
Bruh, that's what I'm like. I'm like, hold on. Your product is professional wrestling. You're supposed to put professional wrestlers in the ring. Your champion should be your main focus.
The flagship.
You let him run out of dates, and you didn't want to maybe give him some more money so you could get some more dates? I mean,
we didn't know he was going to be champion, but we ran off our other champion, so we made him champion.
Yes, it's
but Terry
this
Taylor
is enough to make your voice change, isn't it, Harper?
Yeah.
Harper, I gotta ask, what are you doing? You gotta be doing something.
Nothing. I'm just sitting here.
I don't believe it.
I'm watching Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Aren't you watching this match?
Because I don't want to watch any of this shit.
Lex Luger's about to reach into Tom Zink's chest and pull out his heart like Indiana Jones.
Oh.
All right. Well, we get a gut wrench powerbomb by Taylor on Luger, but Arn saves Luger. You would have just seen that. Taylor then has Luger pinned on an inside cradle, but the ref's back is turned, which was good. And then Luger does kick out, eventually hits Taylor with a pile driver. So Arn and Lex move on to Battle Bull. I got no complaints about Arn and Lex. No. I just think Terry Taylor's getting royally screwed in all this. And why are you talking about it like it's real?
I mean, they were both horsemen.
It's a good point.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's how that goes.
Lex Luger does not throw a good pile driver.
Yeah, it didn't look good at all. It really didn't. All right, so let's continue.
Names.
I'm not going through who's won so far.
What? Fuck that.
All right.
How are you feeling about this pay-per-view so far, Harper?
This is horrible. Imagine paying for this.
No shit. Imagine paying for it like you finally talked.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the first time.
I finally talked my dad into actually fucking getting this shit, and this is what I get.
And your dad's like, except for that blonde in the middle, this is some bullshit.
Harper, can you imagine if your dad spent $24.95 on this?
You'd be grounded.
Yeah.
And you didn't like it.
Until you did enough chores to pay this off.
I think, well, if I was a kid, I probably would have liked watching it because you didn't know any better.
I don't know, Harper. This is 91, so how old are you at this point?
Oh, yeah. Right. That's what I'm saying. As a small child. But
yeah,
like
small
91,
child.
I mean, what month is this?
December 91.
This is funny to me.
Okay.
This is funny to me. What's this?
I was 14.
This is dumb, Doc.
I thought it was funny.
This is dumb.
No, this right here. Abdullah doesn't understand what's going on.
This is dumb.
To get the State Patrol there, too?
Yeah, well, one of them, Buddy Lee Parker. Let me tell the people what's happening. So the next 4 people that are chosen are Ricky Steamboat and Todd Champion. They're supposed to tag. And the next 2 names are chosen are Cactus Jack and Buddy Lee Parker. But as Parker's name is announced, Abdullah attacks him and beats the shit out of him in the back. And JR is on commentary as this is playing out and says, I guess he doesn't understand what's going on. Abdullah wants to be Cactus's partner, so he just whooped him. So Cactus is out there by himself as the match is starting. And I get that Abdullah is a savage, but, bruh, I don't know, man. I just couldn't get into
Yes,
I just couldn't get into it. And then Abdullah comes out with his shrunken head like he's going to be in the match. And I'm like, okay, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to find a plausible reason. And now Abdullah's listening to the referee. So he was a savage a second ago, but now the ref tells him go to the back and he's listening.
Hey, look, they got rules, okay? This is not
right.
Dom.
So these are the rules he now follows.
That's right.
Doc, help me out. Come up with one of these bullcrap reasons you hear these old timers come up with when they like explain their way and they do mental gymnastics to explain their way about why this makes sense.
I mean, obviously the man's wrestled thousands of matches, so he understands the role of the referee. It was the different stipulations that got him confused and why he attacked Buddy Lee Parker. I mean, that's an easy explanation that we can sell here.
That's right.
And he listens to the refs and calmly walks to the back.
He didn't like it, but he's going to listen because he understands somewhat of the rules there. But there's his partner.
Well, I was about to say, now this part made sense because when he starts walking back, he sees Buddy Lee Parker's finally made his way to the ramp, and now he starts beating the piss out of Buddy Lee Parker with a stick on the ramp. Meanwhile, Cactus is still in the ring doing his thing.
This is so bad.
Is Cactus wearing a shawl?
I don't know. I'm too focused on this stupidity with Abdullah, man.
A shawl.
I haven't heard that word in forever. Like
yeah,
my
what
mom
the
used
fuck's
to.
a shawl?
Yeah, a shawl. It's like it's not a shirt.
Cover.
It's not a scarf, but it's like a
poncho.
A little,
it's like a bitch poncho.
Yeah,
it's like a
whole poncho.
It's like old ladies would have those things. Oh, do you need my shawl? There's a little draft in here.
Yeah.
Just put a fucking jacket on, you old heifer.
Come on.
Come on. That's
he is wearing one.
See? Look what he's wearing.
It's
a
poncho.
It's a hocho.
A ho poncho.
It's a hocho.
A hocho.
A poncho.
A poncho.
Oh, come on, Harper. Grow up, man. What the hell, bro? I mean, what is this bullshit? Bro, you know something, man? I've been listening to y'all for about an hour now, and I ain't heard one constructive thing on the show. Just a bunch of three idiots talking about nothing. Where's Bruno? Where's JYD? Well, Darren, if you stick with us, JYD actually comes back in several months. He'll be back, and we'll be talking about him again. Yeah. Oh, he comes back. Oh, yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. Yeah, he comes back in January.
You're right.
Yeah, okay, bro. Okay. All right. But, bro, Harper, remember that time the champ was talking to me? He don't listen, bro. Y'all a bunch of fucking marks. You ain't the champ. All right. Doc, I'm trying to get through this because this is dumb. But
why? Steamboat's out there skinning the cat.
Yeah, there you go.
What do you think of Todd Champion? I want you to tell the people what you told me earlier. Why is he a buffoon?
I don't know. He just is. He looks like every heel in every 80s crappy 80s movie.
He looks like Guile or Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah, and here he is, a baby face.
I must break you.
we need to get Harper some movie lyrics because that would be great.
We need to get him a voice modulator to modulate it back up to the right because we're overdoing this gimmick.
I don't know what he's doing.
He dies.
I wish I knew what he was doing. I know he's doing something now. It's.
I don't know what the fuck's going on.
No, you doing something?
Nobody believes that.
This is too many times now.
I don't know.
This is it's too many times, man. Too many times. All right, let's keep moving. So I'm forgetting where I'm at. This match continues to go on with just Cactus and Steamboat. Parker eventually does find his way to the ring. Miraculously at one point he starts working his way down. Let me reverse go back some. He straggles and finally gets into the corner. And what do you know? Cactus has been taking a beating. So Cactus makes the tag. And when he makes the tag, because Cactus is tired of wrestling, Cactus hip tosses Buddy Lee Parker in, which isn't smart on his part because his man has been beaten by Abdullah. So that's not good.
Yeah.
Anyway, Steamboat hits Parker with a power slam and then hits Parker with a crossbody off the top rope. And Steamboat pins Parker. The crowd is chanting Buddy right before Steamboat hits Parker with the crossbody. And Champion and Steamboat win, and they will move on to Battle Bowl.
So, did we just turn Buddy Lee Parker babyface?
It seems like it, huh?
He took such an ass whipping, they were cheering for him.
Now, let me ask you this.
Happen.
Let me ask you this. Here's an old timer story to make it all right. Brother, we knew it was dumb, but we had $100 in a pool to see if we could get the crowd to chant Buddy Lee Parker's name. And we fucking got him to do it.
I mean, great. You made a side bet and you entertained yourself off of the stupidity that was happening.
This shit was irredeemable anyway. So if we could make a little extra money on the side and giggle ourselves up a little bit, that was worth it to us.
I mean, I do agree when old timers are like, what you want me to do? Just boycott and not do the show? Like, I agree.
Right.
Hey,
you
we got
just
Buddy Lee
go ahead
Parker
on and do
over,
it.
and that was something he couldn't do by himself. What do you think about that?
I mean, I got to give him credit for that, but. So, that was part one of Battle Bowl. We made it through.
We're done.
Thank God.
We made it through it. Can you believe it? That was part one. So we're gonna do part two next week, but and we can't rate it, even though like there's no mystery of what this rating's gonna be. I mean, if we're gonna be real,
I can
here.
rate it.
What are you gonna rate it, Harper?
A fucking F.
Wow. All right.
Fucking waste
You don't,
of our
wait.
time.
You don't know how it's gonna end.
I don't give a shit how it ends.
Okay, we don't have to get hot at me about it. Shit, I didn't book this shit.
I mean, the biggest name on this, is fucking Magnum TA, and fucking he can't wrestle.
He's handy capable.
Halbert, for real, if you could do this voice, Deep State Harper, in your video shoutouts and relationship advice, the people, you'd be a millionaire by next week.
I don't know why it's doing it.
I need you to talk to Lady Harper, who knows how this shit works, and see if she can get your voice to sound like that doing video shoutouts.
I don't do anything.
I'm not saying you're doing anything, even though I think you are. What I'm saying is Lady Harper knows how the video stuff works and audio works. I highly recommend you tell her, listen to the Deep State Harper YouTube clips, and then she can see if she can replicate or duplicate your voice. Because I'm telling you, you would sell these things by the millions.
Put the lotion in the basket.
I need Harper to narrate my life in this voice. God, this is so good. So we're not going to rate it and hand out Rolexes.
Missy didn't get to say anything.
No.
Magnum said two things off mic, but wasn't presented with the mic. Bischoff's hogging the mic.
Yeah, I mean, we're halfway into it, and Missy and Magnum are just pulling names out of the bingo thing.
They could have got a fucking Hooters girl to fucking do that shit.
There's, I'm never the biggest, I need to hear a promo during a pay-per-view. Like, I think promos before a pay-per-view is what sets a pay-per-view up. So if you're doing a promo during it, you're not really selling anything because the people have already bought it, especially if you're an hour and a half in. But they haven't even talked to anybody at this point. Like,
no.
Even if they did, I don't know if it would mean anything.
Yeah, they just like run through it. It's like a marathon.
And actually, I think that's what they were doing, Doc. They got all these tag matches to get through, and then they got to have the Battle Royal.
God, this is stupid.
Yeah. So here's the thing, Harper. At the end of all this horse shit, we have more horse shit because it's a Battle Royal.
Well, who's in the Battle Royal?
Wait a minute.
Well,
it's all the winners of these matches.
Yeah. So
come on.
You're in a tag team match to be in a Battle Royal.
Yes.
Yes.
And so what happens if you win the Battle Royal? It's just one winner, right?
Yes. You want to tell them what happens, Doc?
Well, they didn't say this at the beginning, but apparently they sensed that this is going so poorly that JR and Tony book on the fly and say that the winner is going to get a title shot.
What title?
The big
title?
Yeah.
Yes.
But Luger's in it, so he should try to win it. And
dude, this is some fucking dumb. A child booked this.
Well, Jim Herd, but yeah, I got you.
This is like something like when you were kids with the little toys fighting with the ring with the little big figures. You would think this shit up. Man, holy shit! Oh God.
Well, to be honest with you, Harper, and we've never been anything but honest with you. Mike and I correctly anticipated this reaction from you this afternoon when we were talking. This is you've delivered 100% of the angered reaction that this shit should cause.
Let me tell you something.
So when's the title shot?
We don't know that.
They don't have that kind of authority. They booked this on the fly anyway.
I need to say something about this though, because Harper is going to do this Heroes of Wrestling show with me and Crockett. Let me tell you something, Harper.
Why can't I do it?
Well, I mean, if you're available, not this Friday, the next one, then you could. But what I was going to say was, Heroes of Wrestling, the semi-main and main event are the drizzling shits. The rest of the card isn't the worst thing ever. And because I just watched that, and now I've just watched Starrcade 91 again, Starrcade 91 might be worse.
This has to be worse because none of this makes sense. It's like a fucking nightmare, like a dream.
Hey, here's the problem. There's tons of talent that's been been stepping in bear traps in this that is their booking. We'll get into that. We'll get into that next week, though.
It is this WWE light, huh? WWF light. This is dog shit light.
Well, I don't think we're going to get any better commentary and analysis than that. So.
Oh God.
He's
now,
is he upset or is he getting blown? I don't know.
No, he's upset.
God damn.
It begs the question, Harper, if they, with the same cast of characters that they have on this pay-per-view, could they have done if they tried, could they have booked a worse pay-per-view?
No, none of this makes fucking sense. Why is there two rings?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I could actually answer that. I'm not going to tell you it makes sense. The reason there's two rings is because when Battle Bowl starts and you have all the guys in the rings, you start in one ring and you get dumped into the second, and you have to get dumped out of the second ring to get eliminated.
So wait. So when it starts, all the wrestlers are in one ring.
Yes.
And then ding, 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 they start fighting.
Yeah.
And they have to throw the other guys into the second ring.
Right.
Why?
Because them's is the rules.
Because that's the rules? I mean,
and then what happens when they get in that ring?
Then they keep fighting, until people get thrown out onto the floor from the second ring. And
so why don't they just, bruh.
Why don't they just what?
Just have one battle royal.
Right. And the last two guys do it, and then we don't have to set up a second ring. We could have more seats and on the floor, and the people on the sides wouldn't have bad obstructed views.
I tell you one thing, bro. They didn't let Tully in because he failed a fucking drug test. These motherfuckers are on drugs. No, I don't understand why no one was like, "What?"
At this point, it could have been. Let's let Hurd hang himself, and this did.
That's true, huh? Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah,
but
somebody goes like, "Hey Jim, we need to," and they get slapped. Shut up.
Yeah, let him hang himself. That's a good idea.
This is Turner. We ain't ever gonna run out of money, so let's just shut up.
Oh, that's far from reality, but I hear you.
But you think these wrestlers were thinking,
Dude, this shit. I mean, when I'm answering Harper's questions, I'm not trying to give excuses. I'm literally just answering what their logic was, not what actual logic is.
This is criminally bad booking.
But you wouldn't see this on the indies. It makes sense.
So then my question is.
So what if you throw the guy in the first ring? What if you throw him out the traditional way?
Nope.
That's not how it works.
So what if you throw him out?
You got to get thrown out to the second ring.
You got to get thrown in the second ring.
This is the most. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is this Starrcade worse?
Yes.
Than
this because it makes
hold on.
sense. This is the dumbest shit ever.
Is this one worse than what was the name of the one?
Future Shock?
Yeah. Is it worse than when they jobbed out Muda after he was undefeated and then they treated him like crap? Well, here's the thing. You got to remember, Muda got jobbed out like they just buried him, and they buried Doom. So is it like worse than that? Is this worse than that?
Because at least it was a bad decision, but you had good matches. You debuted Liger and paired him with Bill Kazmaier.
Well, technically he debuted Christmas night, but I hear you.
But we didn't see that.
Yeah, right. I hear you. This is a pay-per-view debut.
I don't have tickets to the fucking house shows.
I think the best part of this, and I'm not going to say it now, we'll get to it next week, is who wins the Battle Royal. That's going to be the best part.
I was looking at the results for next year's Starrcade. It looks more convoluted than this.
Well, so why did you want to put this behind a paywall? I'm really confused by your logic. Because this is terrible.
Because I think everything should be.
I love Chris Zoncha, but I think he said before Battle Bowl was underrated, and Zoncha, man, we're just going to have to just disagree on this one. This is bad. And we still got another half to go. That's what's terrible. Oh, man. Yeah. Ugh, is right.
I don't understand.
Yeah, neither do we, Harper.
So there's a battle royal.
Yeah.
And you have to toss them. It's not even over the rope. You just kind of, there you go. And
you gotta
to
be
the next ring, and then they start fighting again.
Yeah, you got to be eliminated twice, basically.
And then the second ring, they get eliminated the traditional way. Right?
Yes.
So why don't they just do it in the first fucking ring?
Boy. I can't answer, man.
Because then it wouldn't be Battle Bowl.
Yeah. Boy. So we're not going to rate it, nor hand out a Rolex, nor is Deep State Harper. He's frustrated. He's already gave it an F- if you listen to him.
The real question is whether or not Harper will even come back for next week, or if he's just quit the show over this.
It gets better after Starrcade, but we'll get there. So I want to remind you all, first things first here. I talked about Harper's video shout-outs, life advice, relationship advice. If you want a video from Harper, email him, chrisharper16, wildcat with a K, at gmail.com, and tell him what you want in your video. If you want him to cut a promo on somebody, if you want him to cut a promo on your wife, your significant other, your side piece, whatever, or if you want him to curse somebody out because you hate him, or you want him to curse you out, he can do all that. Just email him, chrisharper16, wildcat with a K, at gmail.com. Make sure you're very descriptive and telling him what you would like in your video. And then PayPal him $20 to cc30388cc@yahoo.com. And he will get the video going, and hopefully Lady Harper can get it in Deep State Harper's voice. And also, don't forget, you can become a patron of ours at tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. A great way to support the show and get tons of extra content. That's tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. Over 400 Patreon exclusive shows, including the video versions that we discuss each and every week. All right, Doc. Harper sounds just frustrated with humanity over there, like he's going to go do the Graham thing or the...
This is so bad.
I mean, I'm not trying to argue with you there. Doc, anything else before we ride off into the sunset?
The same right side of history here, so...
Yeah.
Sick 'em.
This is something, bro. This is something. Worst pay-per-view of all time that we've done.
I can't say that because I've never seen all the pay-per-views.
No. I mean the ones that we've reviewed. Well, you know what? We'll talk about that next week. Because this is up there. This is up there with some bad stuff. We've seen some weird clashes on the Patreon shows we've done. Some clashes that just had... Though. I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about shows in general. We've seen some weird clashes. There's been some pay-per-views that were like, eh. But, man, this is supposed to be your Super Bowl. This is
so bad, bro.
This was their version of WrestleMania.
Oh, my God.
It was the big show. It was Starrcade. And
it's just like something you would have maybe at a house show somewhere. Maybe something like at the Army one night. But I mean, this is for these assholes to...
Let me remind y'all. Y'all know who's on this roster?
All
Steve Austin.
This is Starrcade.
I mean, you got the Dangerous
Rude,
Alliance,
Steamboat,
Rude,
Vader,
Steamboat, Austin,
Luger.
Vader, Luger.
They're all there.
We got talent out of our ass.
Yeah.
But yet, on a pay-per-view, on Starrcade, we said, we're going to put Liger and Kazmaier against DDP and Mike Graham. Boogie, nothing about you says computer or technology. I mean, it's just, But you know what? I don't want to go on too much more negativity.
No, let's save some more for next week.
Yeah, maybe we'll get Deep State Harper back. Who knows? Doc, any other closing thoughts before we get out of here this week?
Nothing productive.
Harper, what about you?
No, let's go.
Hit the tagline.
Book it, bitch.
That bad, huh, Harper?